Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing this year? Welcome, everybody. Zen, what's up, man? Flotsam, your Raptor, Gosu. Welcome in. Millie Paints, how you doing? Welcome, guys. All right, everybody getting their paint ready. Excuse me. I am gonna be clearing my throat a bunch. This is gonna be really annoying. So, what we're doing today, we're gonna paint some Votann. I got a couple characters to paint here. They're both the same character, they're just both slightly different. I don't know what the characters are called because I don't know anything about Votann or what they are. It all makes no sense to me. Excuse me. But we're gonna be painting this. Excuse me, thanks, Blue. Alright, you gotta tell me what this dude is, the shield guy. New camera angle. So just be ready, guys. We're doing more. It's more top down, kind of like more old school, but we'll see if it works. Hoping it works with the lighting and everything. But so we got Artist Centura. Welcome in. So messy desk and all. Here is isometric. That's right. Yep. We're doing the isometric camera angle. So here's what we got. We're painting two of these guys. Whatever these guys are. So I have two of them here. They have different little crest things. And they have different symbols on their shields. You can tell they're both slightly different there. So that is that's what we got. This is the new angle. Einherjar Champion. That's probably right. Yep. Hearthguard Hammer Anvil Stack Rune Bullies. Yeah, I like that one better. It's the Hearthguard Hammer Anvil Stack Rune Bullies. Yep. And okay, Guardian, how you doing? Welcome, man. So we have a whole bunch of paints. I am going to start though with some light bronze. Got these two guys to paint, and I have two big Hecaton land fortresses. Work has been brutal today. I feel like you're being sarcastic. I hope you are. Were they cool with you, like, staying home today and everything? Very, okay. Dude, you enjoy it, Zen. It's well deserved, man. Seriously, I'm really happy for you, though. Whoa, subscribe. Thank you, Blue. I appreciate that. I will tell you guys. I'm pretty sure Twitch subs went up in price again. Patreon is cheaper. And you just have to watch the pre-roll ad. Just mute the pre-roll ad when you come in. Not missing anything. You know what you get into when you come into this stream. I'll be here painting minis after the ad runs. Texted my boss last night, and he said no problem with me. That's awesome, man. Dude, that's so cool. It's $5.99. Okay. Yeah, if you're doing mobile, it went up to like $7.99 or something crazy. Ride or die. Yeah. Already clicked the button. Can't. No. It's all good, Blue. All good, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for supporting my channel. Yeah, don't subscribe on mobile. Yeah, if you're on mobile, just get on a desktop or find another way to support, because they charge you way more on mobile. Acquired last year and ever since it's been. That sucks. Well, and okay, hopefully a good opportunity comes your way this year. And you can make the most of it. What we're doing this year, guys. Good opportunities. We're going to take advantage. We're going to do the best we can. The situations we're given, right? I have the hobby to look forward to. Yeah, I understand. I understand. Man, Blue, how you feeling this morning, man? Ridiculous. Getting like crazy stomach virus or something. I was super lurking in your stream last night. I was working on a 3D print and then I was chilling and painting. It'll be Krieg time soon this year. That's right. Yeah, it will be Krieg time. And I gotta tell you, I am not like, I don't want to spend all the money on the Krieg, and I'm not such a big fan of like, honestly, I don't like the new Death Riders quite as much. I think I'll need to see someone else painting them, honestly. I think that's probably a big thing. But the heavy weapons teams, the command squads, the new like quad mortar stuff, incredible looking. Incredible. Wait, what? Oh, yeah. Zen, -4 degrees. Looks like a man pooping. Thank you. My worldview is shattered, and life will never be the same. Really hope I can order the box on Saturday. I will say, your Raptor, stores around me are already writing people's names down. So if you're not sure, it might be a good idea just to call your local store and be like, hey, can I get my name on a list? 07 looks like a man. Isn't that like the whole reason, the whole way people use that? Several boxes of Krieg infantry to paint. Nice. I started painting some militia cavalry. Started last night, and about halfway done with them maybe. And then I printed another 30 militia infantry. So I'm going to try to paint those 30 militia infantry by the end of the month, on top of everything else. I also got a bunch of other stuff base coated. I finally got to spend a good amount of time on the airbrush yesterday. So I airbrushed a whole bunch of things. It felt good. Got like 50 minis that I primed and base coated. Excuse me. Take my chances. If I can't order a box, I'll wait. Okay. That's fine. I just didn't want you to like go to put a pre-order in your stores like, sorry, they're all claimed because people called us in the week and then you didn't know. So at least you know. No offense to the Krieg box. It's out so quick, thing gonna pass. Yeah. Like, it comes with the codex and the data cards. Like, that's a big big deal. And it's gonna be around $250, I think. Retail, so if you get like a good local store discount, I feel like it's less than $200 with a 20%. Like, that's looking pretty solid. Getting the book, the cards, the new character, what is it, artillery set, 10 cav and 5 engineers. Buyer's remorse. Spending a total of $74 on a really nice token set on MCP. I wanted for a while now. That much money. ETA is not for another week. Oh no. Hopefully it's here in time for your event. I think that's all of the light bronze on this guy. I have already talked more today than I feel like I have any particular day. Don't think it will be. Oh, that sucks. That kind of makes it feel like a waste. Wrapping up for the day? Go past quicker, so that's nice. Alright. Well, hopefully you're getting out of the thick of whatever nastiness you had. Yeah. Excuse me. And Yeah, hopefully work's not bad this week, guys. I feel like I spent all last week just assembling models. How do you get rid of batch painting? Do you get rid of the batch painting dread? The lack of finished models starting to drag. Richard Epting, what you do, if you can't handle batch painting anymore, you just pick out a couple minis or pick out 1 or 2 minis and just finish them. That's all. Cheat a little bit. So when I started my Thousand Sons army, that like 2 years ago, almost 2 years, year and a half ago or so, I started this army. I had the whole Age of Darkness box, which is like 65 minis or something. It's a ton of Marines. I batch painted the whole thing, and I started with a big 12-hour stream, and I put the gold on everybody. And after I put the gold on everybody, it took me 8.5 hours. And Felix, welcome in. And so I was like, man, that was brutal. 8.5 hours of painting gold, just gold, on all of these minis. Just the base color gold, not even like details on it. So what I ended up doing was I was like, all right, well, I'm going to pick out like 20 tactical Marines, and I'm just going to finish these guys. And I know I have the gold done on everything. So when I get to the next set of minis, I already have that really long step of gold finished. I'm already like 4 steps into the painting process on this next batch of minis. So when I get started, I'm already like ahead. So what's great is you can cut them down into smaller batches. You finish them up, and then you move on to the next group or next however many you want to paint. And it's like it's like you're zooming through everything really fast at that point. So essentially you break down your batch painting into steps as big or as small as you want. And it took me a couple months to finish everything. But yeah, it's it was great. It was the way to go. It would have been miserable to paint all of that stuff at the same time, especially like vehicles and stuff. Would have been crazy miserable. Yes, Votann too, Vaughn. Welcome in. And T-Slayer, welcome. Welcome, guys. Thanks for joining. I don't think this is going to be a super long stream. I said I've already talked more today than I think I have any particular day the past week. I haven't been like super sick. It's messed with like my like voice and throat and everything. I am feeling a lot better today though. See, looking back, I think you taught me how to batch paint. Remark 6. Yeah, there you go, man. Hey, all of this stuff, it's just kind of how I paint, right? How I've learned how to paint. Painting armies for people, and you kind of figure out what works for you. And when you paint commissions, you got to learn how to not get burnout painting, or reduce the burnout. So that's what I did. I hope that answers your question or helps you out a little bit, Richard. You just keep breaking down the number of minis. Tell Gosu. About what in particular? Is this about the 30k stuff? Or is it something else? Because he already know. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no, he's pumped. Not to interject myself or speak for Gosu, but he immediately mentioned that he would 3D print you minis if you wanted to. If I needed help contributing minis. Excuse me. Alright, let's see. Yeah, he said he'd take over the 3D print. I like batch paint. I have so many models to start to build myself. Yeah, like 1,000 points of Space Wolves. Yeah, man. Like I said, You do one or two big steps on everything. You do it as long as you feel like you can manage it. And then when it gets to the point where you're like, oh, this is too much, I can't handle batch painting anymore, then you break it down. And it's just like getting a jump start. That's all it is on each individual squad. Death Guard 2K, much detail they have? I go crazy and walk away if I didn't break it down. Yeah, yep. You really gotta find what works for you. I did go through, I downloaded a whole bunch of Night Lords files. Hey Omega Dez, how you doing? How are the Tyranids / Gene Stealers going? Or you had some Space Marines you're working on too? I can't remember the last thing you were working on. I mean Omega Dez. One important thing to remember, Zen, when you're dealing with heresy, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, but I think some people, when they make heresy armies, they go way over the top with unique pieces on everything. You know, they try to make every single miniature look, you know, like have all the unique bits and have all the interesting pieces all over them. And I don't think that works super well for heresy. I think there's like space needed for a basic Marine. No, definitely not. No, I don't think you're doing that. But like, you know, the temptation is, especially when you have like 3D printing in the mix, is like, I'm going to 3D print all these unique pieces for my tactical Marines. And, you know, like I want everyone to have a unique helmet, and they're all going to have cool, like, you know, like for Night Lords, it'd be like, oh, they're all going to have like cool, like skin capes and all these unique knives and stuff. And I don't think that fits the aesthetic of 30K quite as much. Like, I think you need to leave room for, you know, like a unique helmet, like shoulder pads with the insignias on them. Like, I'll definitely print you shoulder pads and stuff, but, you know, just don't, like, I'd say, like, don't overdo it on all your troops. Yeah, 3D printed pauldrons, yeah. And maybe some, like, and what I think is cool is when you, like, disperse the unique helmets, like, randomly through the squads. So you have some with, like, the, like, true, like, mark helmets, you know, that they come with, and then some of them have, like, the cool unique helmets with, you know, bat wings on them or whatever Night Lords come with. I think that's the way to go. Yeah. Yeah, and like the stock pieces look great too. I did find, Zen, some of the pieces I found. I found unique Night Lords power swords. They look almost like machetes. And also they have like a unique pattern knife or something. I don't know if they have rules for unique knives, but I found unique knives, so. It's on point for the have machetes. It is, yeah. So like Sergeant power swords, you know, you can have like machetes. But also, man, the plastic bits look so good for those minis, but I love part of me wishes I had a more generic Marine army like Legion, just because you'd use all the cool plastic bits. Necrons will rule again. Welcome in. And Sovereign, what's up? Sorry, man. Did you post a question? My bad. Oh, I did. Yeah. 3D printed minis made the same material as Joy Toy. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I think Zen is right though. Yeah, the Joy Toy stuff's probably made of ABS or some kind of similar plastic. I am doing all right, Necrons will rule again. How are you doing? I'm getting over this cold that I've had for the past week. And finally able to talk, and I finally woke up without like a sore throat and everything, so... I was taking medicine, I think it was drying out my throat really bad, which, you know, it's supposed to do. At the point I'd wake up every morning, it'd take me like an hour before I felt like I could say anything without hurting. Okay, prepping for work, alright. Before I get anything printed, I'll make a list. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Another thing about Heresy is you don't load everything up with crazy gear. You know, if you want an assault squads are great, they're amazing. But like a lot of dudes with chainswords, I think it's like 1 in 5 can get like a power weapon, like that's fine. You know, like a power axe or a power sword on every 5 dudes or something. But like a chainsword is a good weapon. And a bolter is a decent weapon, you know, for free. Motorcycles and Timmy, not bad to paint. I want to do the Jackals. Yeah, I really enjoyed painting. The Jackal Alphas was my favorite mini in the Genestealer Cult army. Or in the Jackals. They were very time consuming to paint, but really cool looking minis. Last game, everyone had upgrades. Yeah. Yeah, and fielding up a bunch of upgrades is kind of what you have to do when you don't have, you know, the proper minis. Make the list you want. Pics of all my pile of shame. Did you really? Okay. Yeah, that's what we gotta do, guys. Get that pile of shame moving and eliminated. Let's stick with that for black at the moment. I'm gonna break it up. I figure we paint those two little, I don't even know what those little things are, but yeah, we could definitely do that, man. Yeah. You know, another thing, and don't let me influence you on this too much, but something I really like about Heresy, and I like an army theme I really enjoy, is making an army out of elements that, like, you wouldn't normally expect that Legion's army to be made of. So, for example, Thousand Suns are, you know, all my army rules for Thousand Suns are focused around infantry and bikes. So you expect to field a whole bunch of infantry and not focus on armor a whole lot, but making your rules work and like trying to like fit a list around an armored list is really cool to me. Or like a World Eater's army that's like heavy armor and like tactical marines or something, you know, stuff like that. Like not just taking despoilers and, you know, a bunch of melee troops for World Eaters. Still using melee as part of your army, but yeah, sure. If you want to post pics, you can always jump in the Discord. And we have like a work in progress. We don't have like a pile of shame specific channel, but you can post it in general if you want. Water down to pan's a little thick. Okay. Painted in... that stinks. That's alright. Figure it out. Going off meta. List building for a game I'm wildly unfamiliar. Yeah, stick with the fact. Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah, and what's I think the yeah, the idea is like, you know, you get your basic stuff, you get your stuff that your army's known for, and then, you know, then you basically just collect what's cool. You kind of go from there. there is a I saw this someone announced a little like team tournament for Horus Heresy in March at a store, and so me and a guy are gonna sign up as a team, and he's the one that's been painting his Solar Auxilia as the Prospering Spire Guard. So we're gonna have super themey army. These our armies are gonna match, and we're gonna do that. So that'll be cool. What do you strip paint off plastic? T-Slayer, yes, you did ask this question earlier. 3 things that are really good for it. Isopropyl alcohol is like, I think like the premier thing. Like it's, you don't let your minis soak overnight, but let them sit there for a few minutes. Take a soft bristled toothbrush. You kind of work at the mini. But also there's products. There's one called Ellie's Totally Awesome. It's a concentrated cleaner. And there's Simple Green, another concentrated cleaner, and those work, but those take a couple days to really work. One thing I will let you know, someone will probably recommend using a sonic cleaner. Sonic cleaners can do really good work. The thing you have to be careful of is what you put in your sonic cleaner. So my understanding is you only put water in the sonic cleaner, and then put your minis in there. If you put something like rubbing alcohol, like, you can literally make your sonic cleaner catch fire or explode. So, because it uses a lot of like static, something causes a lot of static. I'm not sure, not quite sure how they work. You know, and get, here's what we gotta get. So, okay, yeah, don't worry about sun. Yeah, isopropyl and a soft bristled toothbrush will do the trick. I got things I want to tell you guys about. We got things to talk about. Subscribe at all? It isn't? Okay. I thought it was. Maybe it's just updated, they changed it or something. I think there was a team that was still updating it. Got a new recruit, man. New recruit is better. It's just more another, thing to learn. So, I have not spoken to you guys since, I want to say December 31st. Or December 30th. I don't know. But it's a whole new year. So, couple things. The Discord, I added a few new channels. We got there's actually a food channel now. I know people have requested that through the time. I just never had one, but I added a food channel. And I also added a 3D print channel. So those are both channels. You got, questions, or you want to show off, something. Yeah, Megadez, Happy New Year. Excuse me. I think that might be it for black on these guys. Yeah, it was 3D print channel. So on top of all the other channels, we got a couple other things, and the gaming news and leaks and rumors and stuff channel has been pretty popular. So if you see an article, from GW has something new in it, or just kind of things you see some leaks, like post it in that channel. Share it with people, and we can talk about it. We can see what kind of craziness is going on. We can do all that. Alright, next thing I'm going to do, just before I forget, I'm going to get his skin, and we're going to use this advanced flesh tone. Do you like the regular post on the gaming news channel? Yeah, it's fun. I love that part of the hobby. It's like a bad addiction kind of thing. Like, I've always been one that followed like news and rumors for the hobby ever since I knew that was a thing in like 2003. I've always been one to kind of jump in and read up on all the rumors. So it's cool that we can have like a place for the community to do that. Base coats on the skin. Yeah, pretty exciting. Oh, I also made it was a 2025 Hobby Goals channel. That was the other channel I made. So I kind of posted like the hobby goals I made for myself. And what I did was I made a couple categories for myself personally. I've never really done this before, but made a couple categories, and I made some goals for myself on some things I want to do this year. And so I posted my hobby goals. And if you guys are interested in posting your goals, you can post them there, and maybe we can follow up and maybe post about how we're doing, or any kind of like updates on it through the year or something. I figure we'll just kind of do that. But my hobby goals are mistakes. I wanted to start a new army, and I think my militia army will be kind of my guard 40k army. So I think my militia is going to be my new army this year. We'll see how the year pans out, but I think that is that's my army goal for the year, starting a new army. What else? I wanted to remodel my my workroom here, so I drew out a big diagram of, I measured everything and I made it to scale, like diagram of the room. And I think soon Painting Wife and I are going to go get a bunch of new shelving. We're going to move things around. Oh, man. It's clogged in the bottle there. Goals. I'd look at it and I like the idea. I'm going to go for less gray by December. Hey, that's a great goal. You don't have to have a big elaborate goal. Right. Be right back, guys. Okay. Go for 25, paint more 30k and save money. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's to build a 30k Night Lord's army. Here we go, guys. Took me 2 years. But it's happened. Then we'll get you a good 3,000 point army or more by the end of the year. Seen a great idea for diorama I want to make for Kill Team. Oh, cool. Alright. Alright. Yeah, we're going to remodel this. So, my workroom is really strange. It's got a strange layout. Mainly because my house is a bi-level. So the foundation of the house sits like halfway up the walls in the lower level, which is where my workroom is. The problem with that is with that foundation, there's a ledge that goes all the way around, about 42 inches up from the floor. And because that ledge is there, I can't just put shelves against any wall, like full height shelves. So I have to like work around that idea, and the painting wife's computer's in this room as well. So, um, we've had this set up where our things are for years at this point. There is two, like 1.5 walls in this room, so 2 full walls are with the ledge. They're like an outer wall. It's like the outside wall of the house, so it has that weird ledge and that foundation, like concrete foundation. Then there's a closet on half of another wall, and then there's another 1.5 walls that are full height walls that are flat against, they're completely flat and everything. I see some. No, I'm not going to build anything. No woodworking streams. If it's woodworking, it's going to be assembling IKEA furniture. But so currently, we have one bookshelf and one other full height shelving unit in the room. That's against those walls, and the painting wife's desk is against a full height wall, and she's got no like shelving above her desk. So, and then I have a bunch of like half height shelves. So what I've kind of figured out was, if I move the painting wife's desk to one of these half height walls, she can have some ledges and stuff above her desk to put things. It's a puzzle stream. Yeah, it's going to be a puzzle stream. And then I go from having like one shelf against a full height wall to having an entire wall for like large bookshelves. And the IKEA bookshelves are nice because they're very customizable. I can add more shelves and adjust height as I like, which is a big bonus for me. So we have, it's the Billies, yeah, the Billy bookcases or whatever, the Billy bookshelves. So I look through the whole system, and it's gonna be, I'm gonna buy one double wide, one more basic one, and then I think I'm gonna do a glass display shelf, which I can't remember what that's called, the replacement for their Detolf. And then I'm going to get a couple of spare shelves. So I have extra shelf space. And I'm going to have an entire wall of bookshelves that hold all of the extra things that I need them to hold. Yeah, they're dope. Okay, good. Yeah. So that's going to be how that room goes. And there's going to be like some rearranging the current shelves I have. But I have too many things and not enough like organized places to put things. At least have glass inserts. Yeah, you can get like doors for the Billies. I'm not going to worry about the doors on them. I'm not too worried about them like being enclosed and everything. But yeah, I am going to get a glass display shelf as well, because I'm also out of like display area for my minis. I have a whole militia army that's sitting in a box right now. I'm sad about it because I want to show them off. Frank M, welcome in, dude. Hope you're having a great year so far and a great week. Excuse me. So I try to get my organization on, get some room going, all that. So I think we're gonna start that in a couple weeks, trying to get that going. So that's one of my big goals. So on top of that, my wife and I were talking about organization, and we have a living room and we have bookshelves and we have a lot of books. We're people that actually have books on the bookshelf. We have like 2 full height bookshelves full of books. But it's another place where we need more space, and those are in our living room. So we were looking at the Billy bookshelves, and they have some really good solutions that fit. Yeah, it did become our problem, didn't it? Yeah. There's just gonna be more. That's the whole thing, though. Like, it's just gonna get worse. My problems are her problems, and vice versa. So, yeah. So we're hey, it's Mr. Buried Under Snow himself. What's going on, Raja? But yeah, so our living room might also be getting a couple of those shelves in different configurations to make more space. Thought about getting some of the living room. Oh, okay, okay. Shovel my way out this way. It's crazy. I saw your area got like over a foot of snow. Is that true? Because that's insane. I don't. It depends. If they deliver them, then yeah, sure, I'll get them delivered. If not, I'll have to go buy them. I'll have to take a trip up to an IKEA and grab them. It's a lot though. Fortunately, like we're we're budgeting out for big remodel and stuff. Oh, okay. I don't think I'll have an issue making a minimum order. They do have minimums, okay. Because it's gonna be like $500 or $600 worth of shelving. So, and the painting son, we were going over this. The painting son got himself in a mood, and like we like rearranged his room, so he has more space. And he got rid of a little table that he had. So he was like a baby, like a little like work table. He wanted to get rid of it. A new case, my separate firstborn, separate and firstborn, and Primaris display shelves. Yeah, yeah. I understand, Frank. That's my dilemma here. I'm going with 2 skinny with toppers, 2 wide with toppers, and 3 half shells delivered. Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. I don't think we'd have a problem. No, they delivered though. And I feel like I could be crazy. I've never bought a thing off IKEA. So I could be crazy, but they seem like a company with decent customer service. So if something is damaged, it wouldn't be too much of an issue to have the situation handled. Pretty decent, okay. Swedes don't strike me as like really stingy people. Packaging is cheap though, okay. Yeah. That's kind of their MO. It's probably better than like the Target stuff that you buy. Because at this point, that's all we've ever used for bookcases. We'll just go to like Target or like order some cheap garbage off of Amazon. Oh, Bonham, let me know. Okay, yeah, sure, Zen. Yeah, I have measured things out. I have measured like to scale diagrams of where everything can go in the room. Got the old graph paper out. It's pretty fun. And it's like a 3 or 4 step process that I have kind of in my head. So whenever we're ready to order stuff, I'm trying to like prep things at this point. It's like organizing the room a bit, getting things ready to move. But then it's going to be like I clear out the room, empty everything when all the shelves show up. Then I build the shelves, put them in, kind of standard things. 3D render of the room? No CAD, no. Zen, speaking of which, the CAD software reminded me of this. There was an STL creator that made heavy weapon arms for Mark 6 armor. Like I've been fighting with those heavy weapons and magnetizing them. This dude he just made STLs for the heavy weapons, the heavy weapon arms. Would you be willing to put some magnet holes in some arms if I grabbed them? We should do debating on contacting manufacturer. Well, hold on. $1 bag of base material from Geek Gaming via Herrick's Hobbies. Got the items completely different than what I advertised. Weird. I've never heard of Herrick's Hobbies. So what I think you should do is just contact your bank. let Herrick's Hobbies know that you're going to have your bank refund you the purchase or whatever. Let them know if they don't correct it. And if they still ignore you, then you do that and you find a new store. Which, like, sucks, but also that's super crummy of them to just ignore you when they got your order wrong. I assume they shipped you the wrong product. I guess that's my assumption there. Throw it my way. Describe the best. Oh, sure. Yeah. It's pretty simple. It'll be like in the like the inner shoulder area, like where it connects to the shoulders. Oh, it's different color. Okay. That. Oh, yeah. That's an interesting dilemma. I know Geek Gaming Scenics. What product did you get, Gosu? Because I think in like the last 8 or 9 months they changed some of their products. Like the mixes for some of their products. And they made like a like an announcement about it and stuff, but I wonder if maybe the store didn't know. Mars Earth got sandy brown. Well, that is what Mars Earth actually looks like, to be honest. But yeah, that's weird. You got real Mars Earth with better color photographs. Gosu, does it look like a color? You got the stuff direct. That's what Mars Earth actually looks like, man. Just looks like sand. Does it look like a different product of theirs, or does it just look wrong? Like it doesn't look like anything else. Yeah, exactly. You're paying that much for a bag of sand. Yeah. Oh, you're absolutely right. I mean, if you're paying $2 for the bag of sand, it needs to be right. Right? That should never be a thing. Yeah, check and see if it matches a different product. Like, it might just be a mispacked item from Geek Gaming. Has it figured it out already? Oh, okay. It's quick. That's why you just send pictures to him. You're using old photos to advertise. The new one looks like that. Yep. So they. I mean, I figured that out. What are you talking about? I'm the one that said that. That's weird. They changed the Martian one. I knew they changed like the city ruins, the like city rubble terrain, because they used to have a yeah, there you go. Yeah, thanks. That's how we word that. It makes more sense. Because they had a city rubble and they had grimdark city rubble, and the city rubble was super light gray and the grimdark city rubble was like black. And what people would do, myself included, is they would buy 2 bags and they would just mix the two. And you got like a perfect, that's what my Ultramarines use, is that 50-50 mix. They ended up changing their Grimdark City Rubble and they took out their normal City Rubble. And they basically have the mixed formula as their new formula. So that was one I knew about. I didn't know they changed the Mars one. Gosu, if you're not happy with the red and you want a more red, who makes a good red? Does Huge Miniatures make basing material? The thing about about Geek Gaming is they make a really unique product, right? Are you looking at the Geek Gaming site, Zen? Or are you looking at the old photos from from the hobby store? Look on their site, yeah. Mars Products, I painted a big base for my Lancer. That's too bad. Yeah, I'm wondering if there's someone else that makes a similar product. Can you add a bunch of I wonder if you could add a bunch of like huge miniatures weathering pigment in there and turn it red. Does that sound too crazy? Or just try to find something different. I don't know the colors that are keeping these guys similar. We're gonna have to start picking out how to make them different. How many if we're gonna get to it? Okay. And you can always stall. You just paint everything and then just base everything at the end when you figure out your solution. My family and I watched Skeleton Crew, the new Star Wars show that's still coming out. Amazing show. I am I am legitimately surprised and impressed at how good the Skeleton Crew has been. It's guys, it's the Goonies but Star Wars. Like everything about that show screams like 80s 90s like Spielberg Goonies. It's so great. Yeah. All the kids are fantastic. They're like great characters. Like Neil, I feel like is most everybody's favorite. Yeah, KB's great, and Win is just like he's kind of whiny, but it works with the group and everything, and the Goonies minus the kids having personalities. You think the kids are boring? Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. I like the characters. So yeah, I think it's great, and like it's got Jude Law, and you'd think it'd be like super, I don't know, obvious that you're like watching a Jude Law thing, but no, I think Jude Law has been great in the show. It's like a hidden treasure pirate searching story. Nick Frost is SM33. I'm not sure who Nick Frost is. Can't put a face to that name. Yeah, SM33 is great. But yeah, it's like they even got like pirate accents on everything. It's great. It's over the top, but in like a really fun way. Also, funny anecdote about that movie. Oh, it's the other. Okay. Yep. He's the guy that works with Simon Pegg a bunch. Okay. Well, that's great. Yeah. So I'm watching these movies, and Painting Son's watching with me and the Painting Wife, and he is obviously loving the show. But what's incredible is I watch the show and I'm like, man, these kids are like, they're acting like kids. Like I know they're all like early teenagers, but they're legit acting like kids. There has been several points during that show where we watched that show And the painting son will watch what's happening and he will yell out like, "You should do this," or "Oh yeah," or like, this thing, or he'll yell out like a line. And I kid you not, immediately after, like a kid in the show like says the exact same thing or like does the exact same thing. It's incredible. Like whoever like wrote this show did like perfect kid dialogue. Yeah, like oh man, there's a show where this kid's like, they're like in trouble on the ship and everything, and my son is like, get on the gun, and then immediately the kid's like, I'm gonna get on the gun, and he's just like shooting it, or just, yeah, just like crazy stuff. Like the stuff he says are like things my son would say. It's wild. It's wild how like true to form that show is. One thing I don't like with the Goonies, Chunk and Data aren't kids, they're caricatures. Yeah. Hey, Misfit, thank you for the sub, man. Welcome in. Yeah, I don't think that exists in the kid characters in this show, which is nice. Yeah, it's not like, oh look, Asian kid who's good with computers. Like and like the fat kid who does fat things. Like I haven't seen any of that, so which is nice. Yeah, it's very like 80s thing, right? Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's how we're going to start separating these. I'm going to paint this shield black. These guys both have there's not many options on these minis, but they both have the same armament, so I want to find some big ways to separate them from each other. Seen with Win, yeah, Win is his name. It's Win. Turns on the light. Oh, the lightsaber upside down was hilarious. Yeah, yeah. And like, man, just the show's hilarious. Like, it's great. It's great. It's also interesting that, yeah, like the first episode, you're like, wow, like Wim is the main character. The show's all about him, but it seems like he definitely isn't as the show goes on. And he's definitely like the most immature of the characters on the show too. Like, it's pretty easy to see where he is very much just like a kid, right? Where even Neil has like a lot more like maturity, even though he doesn't seem like it at first. Every episode definitely does focus on different kid. Yeah, yeah, which is really cool. Yeah, amazing show. Like, I am excited to finish. I hope the show gets a second season, or they continue this show somehow. It's been great. Also, okay, the very first episode, it's like 80s suburban America that they live in. But the little fake lightsaber fight between Wim and Neil, and he just like stabs him in the gut. He's like, "Oh, my intestines are falling out." Like, Painting Sun quotes that. That is his line now. Which is maybe disturbing for an 8-year-old to say, but pop culture references, right? Like, man, they keep referencing the holiday special stuff too, which is hilarious. Like the old holiday special. Keep playing the dumb like circus show thing. The little kids are watching. It's like they're annoying like Coco Melon's show. just so funny. It's so relevant as a parent, like how horrible that kind of stuff is. But the kids just like soak it up. Yeah, yeah, it's so great. Yeah, fantastic. Guys, I mean, I know people have their opinions on Star Wars shows and everything, but like, this show has been such a different and like wildly like interesting show to watch. Like, it's just so different from everything else that they've come out with Star Wars, and it's just so far and beyond. I feel like Andor, which has second season coming out this year, Andor, it's its final season, I think. Andor's been very serious. It's a really high quality show for being like a super serious show, and like very like adult in its concepts and everything, and it's amazing. Andor is probably the highest quality show, and I think Skeleton Crew is right there with it, just for like all the different reasons. We're rather easy public for Star Wars, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we got Disney Plus for a month. We're gonna cancel it and or pause it or whatever, and that's what we're doing with all of our things. So we go through because streaming services are too expensive, and they have ads, and I can't believe Disney Plus added ads into their service. Like, that is beyond ridiculous. So okay, let's do this hammer cover block on this guy too. Make these dudes stand out. They don't even have capes to do different colors or anything, so. Yeah, so, anyway, we have been really enjoying the show. We'll watch the next episode probably tomorrow evening, so. It's just 2 more episodes. Did Skeleton Crew get good? I checked out episode 1. Yeah, it's amazing. The show's super good. Like, episode 1 was great too, but like, yeah, it's gotten really good. I think it was the 5th episode. Um the 5th episode was literally like Goonies, Star Wars Goonies, like almost one to one. They were like hunting for a treasure, like in caves with booby traps and being chased by villains, like figuring out all the things. Like, it was a Goonies episode, and it was great. That was probably my favorite episode. I think the 5th episode is my favorite one. Star Wars Endgame, Mando losing against the Emperor 3.0, Burnt Cinder comes flying in, Bad Batch jumps out of the back. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's gonna happen. Somehow Moff Gideon has returned. Well, I think the next Mando thing is this movie. Yeah, all this stuff's gonna tie in. It's not even funny because there's so much more accurate about that Zen than I think. Even maybe intending. All right, cool. So he's a little different. Yeah, the black on the hammer looks great though. All right. Next thing we're gonna do. Next breakout thing like Netflix. Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, it's gonna be like, oh, we'll send DVDs to your door. Back to buying DVD players. Okay, we're gonna do some burnt orange. Question for you guys: is the camera angle okay? Is it working? Is it working better than the previous camera angle? Camera angle's solid, okay. I can definitely adjust some settings, but part of me rearranging my workroom, I had to move my camera. It was sitting on a tripod, like right over my shoulder. It was pretty horrible. I was actually sitting at a weird angle to paint. And like camera wasn't able to get like the best angles and lighting and everything, so I figured I had to change that up. He's nice and bright. Personally, brings stream back to a more bland view. New overlay, yeah. Zen, and I should figure something out. Is there a place to look for overlays, or do we find someone like on Fiverr? I wouldn't want to go on Fiverr. I feel like I'd get someone who doesn't understand very well. But I don't know. What would I do to look for new overlays? Just search like free repositories. That's your Fiverr, okay. Use a wet palette. You show me how you load it up. The video has something up. Yeah, I'll show you. Hold on. I do use a wet palette. I think there's a bit of a misunderstanding with wet palettes when people first get them, when they read about them. And I think a lot of people think that a wet palette is for saving your paint over days, so you can, so you can keep using your paint. But it doesn't quite work like that. It keeps your paint like moist and usable for the time being. It's this spot. That's kind of my middle there. All right, it's not too bad. Yeah, it doesn't like, it saturates the paint too much over the course of like 24 hours, so it's not usable the next day. My wet palette is old. My sponge gets paint on it sometimes, so underneath there's stuff on my sponge. This is my wet palette, and a nice close-up. I have these cool copper paper holders that are also like antimicrobial. They're a little neat little corner holder, just a piece of parchment paper. This is a Masterson's Stay Wet palette. That's all it is. Just your basic, cheap $10 wet palette, and I use non-wax parchment paper. Do his hammer orange as well. This hammer handle. So it'll be more orange and black, and the other will be more red and white. Several different accounts for free assets, especially VTubers and Twitter. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look around. I'll let Zen go on Twitter because he actually does Twitter. I don't do Twitter. Okay. Some orange on this dude. We'll go over to this guy. We're gonna do our burnt red. 2020. It is. It is time for new stream layout. I'm cool with that, man. I have that written down somewhere. We're gonna get some vape juice. Oh, good luck. Good luck, man. I'm struggling with paint consistency. Yeah, wet palette is the best. You know, is a really good thing, but also if your paint is too thick, my preferred paint thinner is called Flow Improver. And I use the stuff, it's Winsor & Newton Artist Acrylic Flow Improver. Comes in a big, like, what is it? I got 125 ml bottle. And, yeah, I'd use it to thin my paints. Before I was using Pro Acryl. Ever since I've used Pro Acryl, I put my Pro Acryl directly on the wet palette. I don't have to thin it anymore. It was a weird lesson to learn. Going from Games Workshop in Vallejo, Pro Acryl, not having to thin my paints. Ability paintbrushes, I got are not that good. Probably not. Back later if not. Enjoy your day. Alright, Sin. Alright, have a good one, man. Good luck. Be safe. Braving the weather. So, excuse me. Last night I had a bit of a proud dad moment. Painting son helped me cook dinner. Like, legitimately helped me cook dinner. I was just kind of thinking of something to do. And so, works for single session. Yeah. Frank, my experience is every paint breaks down overnight in a wet palette. I have never used a paint that is fine to use the next day on a wet palette. So, which is something I had mentioned earlier, like, I feel like a lot of people, I don't know, to me it seems like a misconception that people have about wet palettes. That they'll just, like, keep your paint good for, you know, like, days or whatever, and, like, I have never had a paint that is good to use after, you know, leaving it overnight on a, like, on a wet palette. But anyway, I think it's something to do with the painting, son. And just asked me wanted to help me cook. I was like, yeah. So we made fajitas. So what we had though, we had some shaved steak. You know, like Philly cheesesteak kind of stuff, like the shaved beef. And he basically cooked the steak. I kind of helped him. You know, we talked about how to be safe on a stove and everything, and but yeah, he was in charge of seasoning and flipping and getting the meat out. A really quick process when you're dealing with shaved beef and everything. So, yeah, it was him. So, a lesson he had to learn was the salt shaker pours out much faster than the other seasonings. So, you know, steak was a little salty, but it was great. Okay, we got some orange on this, dude. Let's do some extra orange here. So Leo will mix back up. Most Pro Acryls won't. Really? Wow. Yeah, see, I was never able to do that. I don't know if it was because I would thin my paint a lot when I would paint with my Citadel and Pro Acryl, but interesting. But yeah, I mean, I'll take it anyway. I mean, that's fine. It's fine with me. I think Pro Acryl are just a better paint brand anyway. And I would rather have them not be usable on a day 2 on a wet palette and have good paints to deal with than be able to reactivate them. Okay. Orange on this do with some red accents. Yeah, Pro Acryl's definitely superior out of the bottle. I 100% agree with that. Okay, we're going to do some red accents on this dude. Shoulder. And let's see. Let's not do that shoulder. Let's not do the hammer. I switched a few Pro Acryl colors for Citadel for the better coverage too. Yep. Yeah, I bought the Pro Acryl base set a couple years ago. Just to try out after hearing a little bit about it. People will tell me some things about it. And I bought the base colors. They arrived. I tried them out for like 2 days and I was like, these are so much better. And I then just sold all my GW paints. Pretty much all of them. I was like, yeah, these paints are just better. Alright, some red on there. Turn the red here, put a little bit of red on him. Excuse me. Cheeky with the red here, we can put it bands on his feet. Yeah, Known Oil. Yeah, Gotham Dan. That's about right. And Known Oil is unique. Agrax is also really good, and Seraphim Sepia. Like I like the GW, like the four with like Reichland Fleshade. Those are four really good washes. Pro Acryl's Black Wash is really good. And it's just different than Known Oil in a way that like it doesn't work as a replacement. I think the Pro Acryl Black Wash flows better, but it's a lot darker. It's a lot stronger pigment, so you're getting a lot more of a tint into the paint, which might not be what you want. You know, obviously depending on, I guess, the what you want to get out of your paint. So, okay, a couple little colors here. Some brown. We're gonna do some black brown, and we're gonna do some golden yellow or golden brown. My painter changed the quick shade formula with Fnatic. I don't. You know what? I do have the Fnatic strong tone. I couldn't tell you if it's different from the old one, the old strong tone, but that's about as much as I know. Oh wait, he was supposed to have blonde hair. No. Yeah, they definitely are different, Crimson Dam. Yeah, I agree. It is a new learning process. The RoboCrill Glaze and Wash Medium works really well with the washes, which would make sense. But that is a great way to thin out the washes. To do his hair brown and over wet paint. Second coat on some of this. We're gonna do take a sepia wash and we're going to wash over all the bone color. Do some other washes as well. We'll need a brown wash over the light bronzes, and we'll need a black wash over the metallics, the other metallics, and yeah, that should be about it. Changing formulas recently, I switched to oil washes for my painting. Yeah. Yeah, Frank, that's the way to go. Yeah. I understand. Yeah, it's really frustrating when everybody changes everything around. Like GW's is like the most blatant with things too, because like there are probably 20 reasons why GW is changing their formula, and none of them are because it makes it a better paint. You know, more like a filter than a wash. Yeah, yeah. Pro curls definitely act more as a filter. Hey, Groovy, what's going on? Some of that. Be right back, guys. Alright, sorry. My technique may differ from Duncan Rhodes. I haven't watched a Duncan Rhodes video in a while, but he does very much like a classic, like Games Workshop technique. Cover the entire surface and pull the paints and such to specific sections, thinning paints out. That's interesting. Are you talking about like the washes? I mean, I'll wash the entire mini plenty of times. I do that quite a bit, but my main thing when I paint, I think my main motivation for painting a mini is how can I get the most out of painting with the least amount of effort. And that sounds like, I think it sounds more lazy than it actually is. But I think I'm trying to like maximize the effort that I put into a mini. Is kind of what I do, and I think I do that pretty consistently across across both commissions and my personal armies. Because when I paint my own stuff, my own personal armies, I paint to get my minis done to play games with them. Like that's what I want to do. And you know, if I enjoy painting a mini, that's great and all, but to me it's like it always has been the way I've painted and the way I've done this hobby is yeah, I paint to play the game. Like that's what I do. Again, it's you know, I literally paint minis full time. So, you know, I don't do that with anybody else's minis. But, you know, when you paint full time, I'm not like keeping a clock and charging people by the hour. Like I have to find efficient ways to use my time. So, yeah. So, like, you know, covering a mini with a wash on the entire mini is definitely a common thing I do. I think it looks good too, like it ties the mini together. So I think it's a fine technique to use anyway. It was some bronze. I missed it's the front of this hammer. So a little bit of silver that I missed. Yeah, the way Duncan Rhodes paints is it very much like classic GW, which I probably follow a lot more than any other particular paint style, which is, you know, put your base colors on, put your wash on, highlight the base colors, you know, with highlight colors, and you know, I probably follow that more than anything if we're picking out a technique. So it's probably somewhat similar to how Duncan paints his minis. Okay. We're going to use not a totally small brush, but a 60 brush here. Put down, it's about 50-50 Seraphim Sepia, and we put some medium in here. I don't need to do too much on this color, but we're going to come back and highlight it. I'll tint it a little bit. This thing about this sepia is it's not a very strong wash. And we're going to be covering other parts with darker washes, so it's not the end of the world if we make some mistakes here. Let's hope I made enough. Yeah, so I can, you know, I can batch paint really well. I probably struggle more than I need to when I'm just painting a single mini. Because I think my mind is always trying to find a way just to hurry it up. Oh, another thing I watched. We watched this for New Year's Eve. We watched the new Lord of the Rings movie, War of the Rohirrim, the anime film that came out December and was already available to rent. So we watched that New Year's Eve. It was okay. I don't care for anime, so I'd like to say it wasn't geared toward me. But then I kind of have to ask, like, who it was geared toward, and I think who it was geared toward was um, that Warner Brothers, or whoever owns the rights to making Middle Earth films. It was geared toward them so they can keep their IP. And that was it. So, yeah, I feel like, curious about that. Not a big anime, but it was Lord of the Rings. Yeah. Like, the story was alright. Like, it had, you know, like, cool, like, music and stuff, but, it was very, very anime in its style. And that was, like, a little off-putting to me. Which, you know, I pretty much figured it would be. The story's alright. It's just like super exaggerated. I think like anime like exaggerates like certain things just as like a style, and it definitely does that, which is weird for Lord of the Rings. I saw somebody wrote, like, talking about the movie, like the way to think about this movie is it's Eowyn telling the story, so it's all narrated by Miranda Otto, who played Eowyn in Lord of the Rings. And someone said to imagine it like a, you know, it's a Viking saga, like a retelling. So, you know, there's like crazy exaggerated things. Like the stuff Helm Hammerhand does is just ridiculous. Like, even for like Lord of the Rings, like heroes and stuff, like it's pretty ridiculous. And there are certain things that just like don't make sense, you know, like in a very animated movie way. So, yeah. So someone said, you know, think of it as a, you know, it's a verbal retelling of a story that's probably passed down through generations, and, you know, in the family, you know, like the royal family of Rohan. So that's probably a better way of looking at the movie. It's like watching 300, right? You guys remember the movie 300? So it's like all exaggerated nonsense, but it's the one dude just telling the story. Right? That's why it's exaggerated. Just love anime. Like music and movies, I prefer the old stuff. Yeah, it's fair. I just never cared for anime. Hell, Chorin, what's up, man? You know, it's funny. I don't usually listen to like reviews or what people on the internet think about things to, like, you know, like form an opinion of like media and stuff. I think that's really unhealthy, and I think we rely too much on randos like just telling us what to think. So I had working outside all day and I'm cold. Oh, that sucks. Hopefully get to get inside, Helchor, and warm up a little bit. But I had listened to a review about the War of the Rohirrim movie from like one YouTuber that I follow, like Lord of the Rings guy that I follow, and he talks about, he's like, oh, I don't like anime and I really liked it. He's like, this is the best piece of Lord of the Rings media I think that's come out since, you know, maybe the first Hobbit film and all that. And he was going on about like how good things were, and like the characters were really compelling, and there was a lot of like cool stuff. So like I had really high hopes. I don't think it quite met those hopes, and I felt like he, you know, probably proved why I try not to listen to random internet people and their thoughts about things, because I think, I don't know, he got to go to the premiere of the movie, and maybe the experience of seeing, you know, like, ooh, I got to see Peter Jackson, you're like, I know I'm gonna love this movie, and like his whole perception of the film was probably colored by you know, a whole deal. But yeah, like it was a very okay movie. I was happy I didn't go to the movies to see it. I feel like it would have been a lot of money to spend to just kind of be like a meh. Just watched a very mid anime in a movie theater. Like, is this what my life has become? I don't know. Painting wife, what did you think about War of the Rohirrim?
I'd like to say that that is.
What?
But, however, I liked it for what it was.
Yeah, for what it
I'm
was.
not a fan of anime, but
Right.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. There you go. Painting wife's review, it was fine. Yeah. If you can rent it really cheap, or, you know, if it pops up on a streaming service, it's worth a watch. Got all that. That washed down. Lights and grading on top of probably getting paid is definitely going to make you say the movie looks good. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, like he was talking about, you know, I remember I watched this, it was like a non-spoiler review, and he was talking about one of the main characters and how his motivations for doing the things he did is like super justified and it's like really well fleshed out and everything. And I was watching, I was like, that's not at all like kind of what this was. Like I feel like he went way overboard, like it trying to make the characters seem like something they weren't. Like this character was actually just kind of like super whiny and seemed very childish about things and not really yeah, like as kind of an interesting take on everything going on. Alright, we're gonna get out this we're gonna do some strong tone here because I don't really have Agrax Earthshade anymore. Old Rankin Bass LTR cartoons are animated by Japanese animators. Yeah, those movies are wild though. The old Lord of the Rings ones. Don't really have informed opinions and just release videos. Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Like that particular YouTuber, I usually listen to. You know, like I don't know. He seemed like he has really good like opinions and takes about things in general. And so I was like, yeah, okay. I feel like this would be one to, you know, I didn't like stake my whole future on this guy's opinion of the movie or anything. It was just a good reminder of why I try to not let people on the internet influence my opinion about things because that's what they're there to do. I feel like there's always the best intentions behind it. So if it's an elves retelling, yeah, I was gonna tell you about how great, yeah, just how great elves are. That's what Lord of the Rings in a nutshell. Except Lord of the Rings is just you know, it's a hobbit telling the story, so it's just a recipe book. But it's like those annoying websites, you know, you get to look up a recipe and they tell like their whole life story behind the recipe. That's what the Hobbit is, or the Lord of the Rings is, and the Hobbit. It's just Bilbo trying to tell you recipes while interjecting like his life story into it. And you have to like read through the story to get the recipes. Like Sam's roast rabbit in Ithilien. And all the food that Bilbo has in his house and all the food he's making for the dwarves when they show up. Or what they eat in Rivendell. Or all the flavor profiles of lemless bread. That's why there's so many potatoes in Lord of the Rings, yeah. The great lengths Tolkien went through to describe a cherry tomato that Denethor eats. I imagine hobbits reading The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, they skip ahead to the food scenes. Instead of like the battle scenes or whatever. They just want to know. Just want to know all the food they ate. I also feel like it's very appropriate that a large portion of The Hobbit in the book is describing about how they would run out of food and about how hungry they would be and everything. Like, just the emphasis on the food. Okay, got brown wash in those parts. Yeah, I love about these Votann iconographies is they wash soaps right into the bottom. They're always really easy to wash. Dark Lord, end of all good things. Where's the recipe? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but what did they have for lunch? Yeah, I need to know. I mean, if you go through read The Hobbit again, you'll realize how much the emphasis there is on food. I don't think Tolkien was deliberately writing the book saying like, man, hobbits would really focus on food, so I'm going to focus on food a bunch, but this is what happened. I think his idea was much more like, these are the things that soldiers consider, you know, keeping his story as a bit of a metaphor for his experience in World War One. How snow are you up north? We got like a good like 6 inches of snow, maybe. Is that right? Yeah, about 6 inches of snow. Painting wife has had snow days the past 2 days, and the painting son did not have school anyway on Monday, but he has a snow day today, so we're all snowed in. Also, what's up, John Locke? How you doing?
Roads are clearing pretty good.
Roads are getting clear. Okay, well, we'll see. I don't know. Painting wife predicted no snow day today.
Gosh, right?
It was way off. She's like, I know I'm going to have school, and Painting Son probably have school. By 9 o'clock last night, Painting Son's school canceled. How about you, man? How's it down south? I saw, like, around, like, the Ohio River, people got, like, really slammed. Counts level 3 snow emergency Sunday and Monday. We're down to level 2 today, but my street and drive are both still icy. Township crew hasn't been our way yet. 10 to 12 inches. That's crazy.
Jeez.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What state is that?
I think either Ohio or
Kentucky.
Kentucky, maybe? He's really close to Ohio, though.
Okay.
If he's not in Ohio right now, I remember he was... Okay, got some black wash. This is just the Pearl Curl black wash. We're going to take this over our silvers and black areas. Painting wife is typing furiously behind me.
Sorry,
If you
I'm
can
doing
hear
some
that,
work.
she slaps her keyboard, guys. She doesn't just type like a normal person.
What?
She is
How is a normal person supposed to?
a furious typist.
Oh my gosh.
Always has been. Yep. Self-conscious about her typing now. Painting wife is telling 8-year-old nerds to get wrecked. Yeah. Oh man. So okay, Painting wife was playing Fortnite the other night. She had, I think it was like her best match ever. She had like more kills.
My high.
Her highest kill count, right?
It was 13.
13 kills. So those are her highest kill count. And probably not as good as some of these like, you know, teenagers that are 7-year-olds that played this game. But anyway, her highest kill count, she was in the final 2, and she's like, I got the jump on this dude. She's like, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna have like a new record, you know, and everything. And she's getting all ready. The game crashed. Game straight up crashed, like right when she said that.
I was second.
Yeah, it was final 2, right?
Yes.
And yeah, it was final 2. And she's like, I got this guy, because she's like, I have the high ground. Like, Anakin can't get to me. And then her game just straight up crashed. She's too strong. Yeah, they had to DC her. Yeah. The company's like, we can't handle 13 kills in a match. It's too much. Punish for the ego. Yeah, it's more like it.
What?
Yeah. Her head was getting too big. It pushed the off switch on the game.
Oh my gosh! What are you saying?
No, it was really sad. We were both really upset about that. Like, when has this game ever crashed? It's probably the other dude cheating. The other final 2 guy. He hacked into her IP address. Turned the game off. Alright, I think I'm about done with the black wash on this guy. I think we're going to call it after I get this black wash on. And then we can do highlights and stuff on these minis tomorrow. But they're looking good. I'm hoping, depending on snow day status, I am hoping to do a full stream tomorrow. But we'll see. Never know at this point. Any Sun School District just calls off school at the drop of a hat, so they might feel bad everybody else had 2 snow days and they've only had 1. I'm not leaving quite yet, T-Slayer, but yeah, I'll see you tomorrow though, regardless. Things here. Stop painting, son. I'm just like not even painting on camera, am I?
What?
It's not even on camera painting.
Yeah, it was down in the corner.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't do it on the camera. Oh,
Well,
it's because the camera's moved.
It's, yeah, I move the camera, but also my eyes only face one direction at a time. I can't watch the screen and watch the mini where I'm painting. Okay, I think that's it for the wash on this mini. So, we got that. We're going to do highlights on these two minis, but I think we got them. Some difference. They stand out from each other. I'm back. Let you know. Oh, of course, I'm not in category. Thank you, Rocket Man. I appreciate that. Ugh, this stupid Twitch. I don't know. All right. Well, thank you for that, Rocket Man. And I guess next stream, I will try harder to be in category. So, who knows though? I never know. Well, I'm gonna call it there today, guys. You all have a wonderful day. Wife wanted a snow day, but there was snow on the ground technically. We have the last of our wood burning in the fireplace. Oh, wow, okay. Hey, that's fine. Snow day if you can get it.
I also have a snow day.
That's right, you do. It's awesome. Alright, you guys. You'll have a great one, and I will be back on tomorrow. I'm going to try for 10 a.m. Eastern, so normal stream time, 10 to 2. We're trying to do it and paint a bunch of Votann. So, you guys have a wonderful day.